Hey, what's happening, gang? Bobby Spellman here. In this video, we're going to talk about the mystical art of circular breathing. Is it a parlor trick? Is it a useful musical technique? Well, it's both, and it's a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. So stick around. We're gonna talk about the technique of circular breathing and different ways that it can be used on this episode of Trumpet with Bob. All right, circular breathing is the technique of being able to push air out of your mouth into the trumpet while breathing air in. It gives you the opportunity to be able to play continuously. Now, there are a couple things that I use this for that can be very convenient. One of them is if you find yourself playing a piece of music and it's written in such a way that you have an extremely long note and you'd have to take a break or break it up in between in the middle of the note, you can use circular breathing to be able to continuously play these long notes without having to stop. The other way that it can be used is often as a textural effect, improvising, as a way of creating sort of a continuous, let's say, field of sound. You can just be continuously creating sound. At the end of this video, I'll do a demonstration. I'll play a solo improvisation. You can see some of the ways that I would use circular breathing as an improviser. And at first it's kind of a funny trick to be able to play a note forever, but really I do find that it comes in handy very often. So, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about how circular breathing works. First thing you gotta know is that you can't breathe in and out of your lungs at the same time. There's no way to do that. If you're breathing in, your lungs are filling with air. If you're breathing out, your lungs pushing the air out. You can't breathe in and out at the same time. So, how does this whole circular breathing thing work? Well, when you're circular breathing, you're really pushing the air out of your mouth with your cheeks while you breathe in to your lungs with your nose. So, if you're looking at it without me playing the trumpet, it's going to look like this. So I can push. I'll get a little closer. Here we go. Check this out. I can breathe into my nose and push the air out of my cheeks at the same time. If I play it on the trumpet, just to give you a demonstration, it's going to sound and look like this. I can do this for a long time. Now you'll notice that there's a little bit of change in the sound because as the inside of your mouth changes in size and openness, as your cheeks move in and out, you're going to get a slightly different tone out of it. So the goal is to practice this. Once you start to get it, and we'll talk about the techniques, as you practice it, you want to be trying to create as consistent a tone as possible by really getting comfortable with the mechanisms involved in pushing that air out of your mouth while you're breathing in through your nose. Okay, so how do you do it? The first way you want to start practicing this is you got to get used to the feel of pushing the air out of your cheeks while you breathe in through your nose. All right, I think that's the trickiest thing. Overcoming that one challenge, that one little obstacle of just learning how to do that is, I think, the hardest part. After that, it's just fine-tuning the technique. So, let's talk about it. Some people will talk about, practicing by blowing bubbles into water with a straw or something of that nature. But just to start out, the way that you want to try to get a feel for it is to just practice filling your cheeks with air and then squeezing your cheeks with the muscles in your cheeks to let the air out while practicing breathing in. So it's going to look like this. If you're just starting out and you want to practice this technique, here's what it looks like. So I'm squeezing the air out of my face while breathing in through my nose. The whole thing is kind of funny, but you get the idea. Okay, so here we go. So once more. As you get used to that feel of pushing the air out of your mouth while simultaneously taking in air through your nose, you'll start to be able to use your tongue in the back of your head and sort of your, let's say, intuition in breathing to be able to continuously push that air out of your cheeks while you breathe in through your nose. So it's a matter of practicing it. At first you're just going to get, but as you practice that technique, what you can do is then slowly release the air from your cheeks with your muscles while you continuously slowly breathe the air in through your nose. So if I do it a little bit more consistently, slowly, it's going to look like this. So again, as I'm breathing in through my nose, I'm squeezing my cheeks together to push that air out of my mouth. All right, and that gives you the opportunity to create consistent air coming out of your face while you're breathing the air in through your nose. Now, the whole time as you practice it, there's all kinds of stuff going on with your sinuses and your tongue in the back of your head and the back of your throat and all this stuff that's, stopping the air from coming into different places and blah, blah, blah. It's a part of breathing. You're gonna get the deal. But the hardest thing to do is just at the beginning to get used to that feeling of pushing the air out of your cheeks while you breathe in through your nose. Once you get that, if you continuously practice it, you'll be able to find that you can consistently try to work out getting the tone just right and getting a consistency of the airstream, etc., etc. But that's really the secret to all of the circular breathing experience. Now, once you get that, adding the trumpet to your face is really just a technicality because you're going to already know how to buzz into the mouthpiece. I mean, it gets a little unruly because obviously you don't want to be puffing out your cheeks while you're playing trumpet in general because it slows down your air and it makes it more difficult to control the airspeed and your tone and everything else. So in general, obviously you don't want to be puffing your cheeks out while you're playing, but in this particular instance, we're using this as kind of an extended technique approach. So you're going to have to do a little bit of that. But I'll give you another demonstration. As I go, I'm buzzing my lips into the mouthpiece and then using my cheeks to push the air out of my mouth while I'm breathing into my lungs through my nose. And if you can continuously practice that, you can get more and more used to keeping that airstream consistent and really keeping your tone consistent as you go. And you get into a particular rhythm in the way that you're able to push the air out of your face while breathing in through your lungs. All right, check it out. Here we go. Now you can also do a big push and then only breathe in every once in a while. So the way I was just playing that is to be continuously pushing the air while I'm breathing in through my nose. Now there's another way of doing this, which is just to let the air go as long as you can. Just let that tone continue until you really need to breathe, and then you just take the opportunity to take one huge breath. Now, again, it's going to be really about controlling the speed of that air coming out of your face with your cheek muscles while you breathe in. But that would sound a little bit more like this. That's the idea. It's kind of a boring demonstration because all I'm doing is pushing the air out of my cheeks and using my lungs to breathe in. But as you get used to this technique, you can, if you see somebody's written an arrangement with those goose egg whole notes that are held on for like 6 minutes at a time or whatever, people who may not know some of the challenges in playing trumpet, you'll be able to hold on to those notes for the whole duration. Now, there are other reasons that I use this technique beyond just being able to hold the notes out. At times, I want to create, as an improviser, let's say a wave of sound or a constant field of sound, a constant sort of, let's say, sheets of sound or something of that nature. And to be able to use the circular breathing as sort of an extended technique, much like, let's say, growling or various half-valve techniques or, different mutes of various things. Like it becomes sort of a color that you can use to, let's say, affect the emotional nature of your performance. All right. So in order to demonstrate that, I'm going to give you about a 1-minute demonstration on how I might use circular breathing in a solo trumpet kind of performance setting. I'm going to improvise something for you so you can get an idea of how I might use circular breathing for the texture of it all. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope it's helpful. If you have any questions on circular breathing, be sure to leave a comment in the comments, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. All right, thanks a lot, gang. Here's a little demonstration of circular breathing in practice. Alright folks, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you found it useful or informative or just entertaining, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you got any questions or if this video helped you out, or be sure to send it along to any of your trumpet playing friends. We're currently offering lessons online, and you can visit our website at www.ridgewoodschoolofmusic.com. We're also offering lessons in person in the Brooklyn, Queens, and greater New York City area. Be sure to send us a message and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. You can also follow me, Bobby Spellman, on Instagram at Bob Spellman, on Facebook at Bobby Spellman Music, or on Twitter at Bobby Spellman for some more trumpet fun. Lastly, if you found this video useful and you'd like to give a little donation to the cause, you can find us on Venmo at Ridgewood Music. All tips will go to the creation of more videos like this one, and we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, gang. We'll see you on the next one, and happy practicing.